On here from Quality Shot. Congrats on your win. What did you change tactically from the third set onwards to go over the line?
Not too much. I think in the first set I was returning really close up chipping forehands, and to be honest, you're not gonna have a lot of success returning a serve like wherever. You can stand anywhere. It's not really gonna it's not gonna feel great. But when I backed it up in maybe it was the end of the first or the second, I felt like I was putting more returns in the court. So no change really in the third, change in the second. Felt good. Felt like, maybe at some point I could grab a break, but the main thing was just to keep holding serve, keep being aggressive. After the first halfway through the first set, I was trying to move the ball around a little more. I came out attacking, going into his forehand probably a little too much, and he was ready for it. He was hitting his forehand really well, so I wanted to just move my forehand around a bit more. But big change as well was second set tiebreaker. I played a little safe on some shots, thinking that he would also play safe, and he kind of beat me to the punch. So my main thing as well going into the fourth set breaker was to pull the trigger on the shots as soon as I saw the opportunity.
Matt?
Yeah. I think we were all curious about the exchange at the net, and we were asking Sasha about it, and also asking him about his opinion of your quality, and he basically said, look, I was playing on one leg today. Which was, surprising to some of us at least. And so I'm curious if you could enlighten us on what you guys were talking about, and also what you thought about the effect of all that on the match.
Yeah, at the net, it's no big deal. I think he felt, that he was, for parts, I guess towards the end of the fifth at least, kind of limping around a bit. So I think he was, annoyed at some people in my box just being loud, cheering for me, which, I honestly, I can't hear. I don't know, but no big deal. He said it's nothing towards me or anything like that. But as far as his injury, I don't know. I thought the match seemed extremely normal until I was up the break in the fifth, and then I feel like that's when I felt like he was limping and moving. So I don't know. I can't speak to the seriousness of his injury. I tried to play the match extremely straight up. I've hyperextended my knee pretty bad before, and for me, it's different for everyone, I guess, but for me, when I did it, I was a little sore. Felt like my knee was stretched out, but I played pretty normally the following days. So going into it, I was just trying to, I guess, approach the match as if he's, healthy. So again, I can't speak for how healthy he is or not, but yeah, that's what we were talking about at net. But it's it's not a big deal. It's all good.
Howard?
Hi, Taylor. What, in the end, would you say you're most pleased about your performance today?
Obviously I can say kind of sticking with it from 2 sets down, but I feel like I'm always going to do that, especially when I feel like I was playing good tennis. I think what I was the most pleased about was just my game from the ground, backhand, forehand. Just once we got into the rallies, I felt like I was playing about as good as I could play.
Sebastian?
Taylor, just on a side note, do you think tennis needs Master 1000 on grass? There are also advanced conversations that it's going to happen on Saudi Arabia, or Andy Murray suggested one in Latin America. What is your thought? What do you think is most important?
I think there should definitely be a Masters on grass. I think that's we have Masters on every surface, several on every surface. This is a huge part of the year, and people love this. People love grass court season. Why not add a Master? I think it should. How people do in this part of the season should probably reflect more on the rankings, and that would, I think having a Masters 1000 would be a big step in the right direction for that.
Yasmin?
Hi Taylor, congrats. Just on Zverev's issue with people in your box, he's come in here and said his issue is with people that aren't from the tennis world and that you and your coach are respectful, so it will be someone else. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, can't hear like I can't hear. I don't really hear my box when I'm playing like that. So I didn't hear anyone being like extremely loud. You know, he's totally allowed to to be annoyed if they were being annoying. I don't like again. I don't know. That's one of the things I asked him at net was like who was it? But yeah. I mean, it's again like it's not a big thing. It's all good.
Willie?
Looking ahead to your next opponent, somebody you've played before, what are your thoughts about this matchup and the key for you?
I mean, the key is always going to be serving well and returning well. I feel like if I do those two things well, then I like my chances. And you know, luckily for me, it should hypothetically be easier to return serve than it was today in the next match. But yeah, he's tricky and he's been playing well. We made the finals of Queens. This will be my first quarterfinal where I'm the more experienced person in slam quarterfinals, having played Novak twice and Rafa once. So hopefully that'll will help me a little bit. But I know I'm gonna have to play well.
About it?
It is also about Musetti and what you expect. I mean, were you surprised, because he always plays very much from behind the baseline, that he was able to do a final at Queens, do a semi-final in Stuttgart. When he played you, I think 2022 on grass, it was much worse player than he is now on grass. What do you expect that he could do so many progress?
Yeah, I think I saw a bit of his first match at Queens, and I was like, I was very impressed. I thought that he was playing well, and I think he's made really good progress and shown a ton of improvement on, you know, over the last like 6 months to a year on surfaces that aren't clay. He's shown that, you know, he can have results and play really good tennis on every surface.
Howard?
What do you enjoy the most about playing on grass?
I think what I enjoy the most on grass is just like when you hit a good shot, you're rewarded for it. I think, and that's the case at a lot of, you know, some hardcourt tournaments as well. But like, you know, one thing that just annoys me so much is we're playing sometimes with like balls that are so like dead and soft, and on like a super slow court is like I can hit the best. I feel like I'm taking so much risk to hit like the best shot ever, and it's accomplishing absolutely nothing in the rally. And I just feel like tennis should never be like that. If you take the risk and go for a shot, you should be rewarded for it. So I think that's what I really love about grass.
Bill?
Congratulations. Can you compare this briefly a little bit more to the first time to the quarters? You mentioned that. But also, can you compare this experience with that incredible run to the Indian Wells title when you were younger?
I don't know if I'd compare it so much to the Indian Wells run, because I don't know. I was just like barely scraping through some ad. I don't know. The weeks just feel, I guess, a little different. I don't know. But compared to the last Wimbledon quarter, it's like the draw. I mean, my draw was as you would expect it to be, I guess, when it came out. You know, the seeds won. I played the players I guess I expected to play, and it's a different feeling, obviously, coming back from 2 sets down against a really good player to be able to make the quarters. I think last time around, draw opened up. I didn't lose. I don't think I lost a set on the way to the quarter, so it was kind of just like smooth sailing, like cruise there. So it's obviously at the time I was so pumped to be in the quarters, but it just feels a little bit better when you're, I guess, made to work for it a little more.
Matt?
Do you feel like you've sort of sneaked up on people at all here? I don't know if it's because maybe you had your big success on grass like the week before here, correct?
Yeah.
Right before
Mm-hmm.
Eastbourne, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just curious how you experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could say that they were like, I guess, not ready for me to be playing well when you literally win the tournament the week before Wimbledon. Obviously, if you win the tournament the week before Wimbledon, then you're going to come into the tournament feeling pretty good and have confidence and be a threat. I think, all players know how big of a deal just confidence is. It makes a world of difference. So anytime you play someone that's been winning, I don't think it's ever a surprise if they're playing well.
We're going to take one last one, Howard.
Just wondering whether you and Tommy had any interaction at all yesterday after his win or today after yours, and it's been a while since there've been a couple of American men to reach the quarters.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of interaction. It's tough not to. Tommy is, one of my closest friends, if not like my best friend. So we talk all the time and see each other in the locker room, all that. I told him one thing that was funny was I played on that court 2 that he played his match on around the same time, and the way the sun was coming down in the first set, usually when the sun comes down you get the glare to your like left side. This one it's like pretty straight on, so it's like I was telling him in my match at this one point I was the most blind I've ever been in my life on a tennis court ever, and he thought I was like exaggerating, and then he played at the same time and he said he got broken and whiffed a ball during that game. And he told me today, he's like, dude, you weren't lying about it. And I go, dude, I'm telling you, you literally couldn't see anything. So that was kind of a funny thing we talked about his previous match.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll wrap up
Thank
there.
you.